everybody. Thank you so much for joining today for our Academic Success Series. So I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is Candace Edwards, and I'm an academic advisor at the Daniel J. Patterson campus at the Niagara-on-the-Lake campus. For today's session, it will be myself as well as my colleague that will be co-facilitating the session today. And I'll turn over the mic to her to introduce herself.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Cynthia Kamen, and I'm a library technician at the Daniel J. Patterson campus with a focus on student success. Together, we are here representing the libraries and learning commons and academic advising, two important and beneficial services you will get to know well during your time at Niagara College.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. So we're so glad that you could join us today for the second session in the Academic Success Series. Today we'll be reviewing the academic experience and the supports that are available to you at every stage of your journey. Hopefully you were all able to attend yesterday's first session in the series, which reviewed what first steps you'd need to be aware of to help set you up for success before you start your program in January. But if you were not able to attend the session, don't worry. It was recorded and will be available online to you for you to access in the next week or so to review. As we move forward, just wanted to take care of some housekeeping items. So the presentation is being recorded for today as well, so that the information can be reviewed and made available to all incoming students at a later time. Your camera and microphone have been muted for today. However, as you all know, you do have the ability to post questions in the chat, which is being monitored today by a few of our other wonderful colleagues, Jeanette Charlebois from the Library and Learning Commons, as well as Jody Thomas, who is also an academic advisor from the Welland campus. There also is going to be a time at the end of the session to answer any questions you have regarding the information shared today. And when you did log into the MS Teams sessions today, your name that is posted is what was used for your application when you applied to Niagara College. If you're having connectivity issues, you can try leaving the session and open another browser. We do find that Chrome works best when accessing MS Teams. So if you can open your Chrome browser and try logging back into the session, hopefully this resolves any technical or connectivity issues that you're having. So as we move forward, we'd like to begin today with a land acknowledgement, which even though we are meeting online today from different places and spaces, we hope that by reviewing this land acknowledgement, it will help to provide a moment of reflection on our relationships with the land that you will be on when attending Niagara College in January. Niagara College acknowledges that we are gathered on the shared traditional lands of the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee. We offer our sincere gratitude to them as the stewards of this land, which is protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement's 3 principles: to take only what you need, leave enough for others, and always keep the dish clean. Today, many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit communities from across Turtle Island continue to live and work in this territory. Acknowledging the peoples whose territory we are on and the agreements that guide their stewardship of the land reminds us to reflect and respect their unique relationships to this land. It also is an invitation for all of us to identify and engage in actions that respect and reinforce our commitments to truth and reconciliation and Indigenous rights, including the Colleges and Institutes Canada Indigenous Education Protocol. So, as we get started, we wanted to review with you on behalf of the Student Rights and Responsibility Office the importance of remembering good citizenship, respect, and civility are everyone's responsibility when engaged in online learning and when in the classroom. Proper etiquette, whether it be online or in person, helps to maintain a respectful online and in-person educational environment. At Niagara College, there's a student code of conduct which outlines what your rights and responsibilities are. And we encourage you to check out the website on this slide. You can take a photo of the slide if you'd like to find out more information about what are your rights and responsibilities before you start your studies here at Niagara College. I'm going to pass it over to Cynthia now as she's going to review the learning objectives and a little bit more information with you.
So just to let you know, I'm going to shut my camera off just to avoid any connection problems at my end, but I'm still here in the background. So let's begin with our learning objectives so you know what to expect throughout this presentation. By the time we get to the end of today's session, we are hoping you'll be able to complete the following 3 tasks. Be able to describe the main strategies to succeed in class and co-op, identify the main resources and skills that contribute to a successful learning experience, and recognize the importance of assignments and exams and how to prepare for them. We will do our best to introduce each of these areas, but if you require further details, you will find helpful links in chat for each slide containing more information. The Academic Success Series has been broken down into 3 sessions. Each one contains helpful information for different stages of your journey at Niagara College. As Candace had mentioned earlier, for anyone who attended yesterday's session, you will recall that we began the journey by identifying the ways students can get started and get connected at Niagara College. And if you missed the first session, once again, I would encourage you to watch the recording so you don't miss out on any important details. Today, we are going to move forward in your journey and focus on your academic experience, highlighting supports and resources contributing to student success. And then tomorrow, we will be offering the final session focusing on career and beyond. So let's take a look at some of the areas we will be covering today that directly relate to your academic experience. These topics will not only benefit you in the first term, but they will foster success throughout your journey at Niagara College. To begin, we'll briefly review the acronyms or language commonly heard at Niagara College. We'll go over the strategies to help you succeed in class, discuss the various supports available to help you reach your goals. We'll give you some tips for preparing for assignments and exams. We'll provide you with resources that contribute to a successful learning experience. And believe me, the library has plenty of resources. And finally, not everyone attending today will have a co-op element in their program, but for those who do, we will briefly review some strategies for a successful co-op. You will become Well, you'll quickly become familiar with many acronyms used at Niagara College because there are a lot of them. We've chosen to highlight a few common terms here that might be helpful at the start of your journey. AA refers to academic advising as a department or your academic advisor. When you enter the college, each student is assigned an academic advisor for the duration of their studies, and they're definitely someone you'll want to know. CCR stands for Co-Curricular Record, which is a record of the clubs and events you have been involved in during your time at Niagara College. It is a great way to showcase your interest and involvement in the NC community for your future endeavors. ITS refers to Information Technology Services and is your go-to for any computer issues, including logging into your email, using the printers on campus, or accessing the Wi-Fi. You can find ITS staff in the libraries and learning commons at each campus, as well as online. LLC refers to the libraries and learning commons, and we're here to support your academic success. We'll be sharing more information about the resources and services offered later in the session, so you'll know where to go when you need support in your studies. NC, of course, stands for Niagara College. Nicole is the Niagara College Online Enrollment, which is the name of our enrollment system. SAC refers to Niagara College's Student Association, which supports your student experience. You'll become familiar with everything they have to offer, including events, student clubs, and your student admin council. And lastly, TLP, which is the Teaching and Learning Plan. This document will be shared by your instructor and will contain important information for your course. You'll want to pay close attention to this document so you'll know what's expected in your courses each week. Now, this is just a sample of the short forms, and you will hear many more acronyms during your time at Niagara College. So don't be afraid to ask if you come across one you don't know.
Thanks very much, Cynthia. I know, in my role and just starting at Niagara College as an academic advisor over the past few months, learning the acronyms is, really important, but you'll definitely learn them as you start your journey here. So I appreciate you going over them with all of us, Cynthia. Um, the next, slide we want to kind of go into is we want to take some time to review or remind you of some strategies that will help set you up for success in class. So some of this information that we're sharing today may not be new to you, but will be a good reminder as you start your program at Niagara College in January. So attending classes every day is very important as well as participating in learning opportunities. These strategies will help to ensure you're staying on top of your content and to stay fully engaged with what you're learning. Again, reviewing your teaching and learning plan, your TLP, is also something that you want to do ahead of your classes to ensure that you're reading the correct course materials. What each TLP provides for every course is a breakdown of what you'll be learning week by week with the materials that you'll need. And the TLP also includes the assignment and test weightings, which is important to know. And the TLP is considered a guide for your course. So you can find your TLPs in your Brightspace pages, which you'll learn more about, but just wanted to let you know about it. Another tip we want to share is to make sure that you check your NC email and Brightspace every day to get critical emails from your instructors or from the college. Your email and Brightspace page are the main communication tools that all Niagara College faculty and staff use to connect with you. Typically, professors will either post on their Brightspace page or through an email if a class has been canceled or an assignment deadline has changed. If there's any notifications or updates regarding the campus, i.e. such as like a power outage or inclement weather, that information is shared to students through their NC email. So it's really important to put that as a daily routine for you to be checking every day. Oh, thank you so much, Jody, for putting in the launch guide. Another tip we want to review is try to read your class material ahead of the class. And it ensures that you are reviewing the content before your lecture and lab, so it makes sense. And when you're learning that information with the instructor, it's kind of a recap, which is great. This can also help you prepare questions of what you'd want to ask the instructor ahead of time. So should it not be answered during the actual class, you can ask it at that time. Another strategy we encourage you to incorporate is having a binder or notebook for each course. This will help keep everything in each course together and organized for you. Make sure you're on time for all your classes and come prepared. This ensures that you're not disrupting other learners if you come in late, and that you're not missing too much content that's being taught in the class. Sometimes you'll find instructors will ask you if you're arriving late to wait until the first break to come into the class, which that can be a significant amount of content that you're missing. It's also important to ask questions when in class and actively participate to ensure you're understanding the material being taught. I know it can seem really intimidating to ask questions in the classroom and to your instructor, but they're there to answer your questions and ensure you understand the material being taught. Never be afraid to ask a question. Most likely someone else in the class has the same question as you. So encourage questions always. And then also connect with your academic advisor or attend an academic drop-in or meet a peer tutor. You're going to learn more about these supports as we go throughout the presentation, but it's important that you do connect with these key people because we're all here to help guide and direct you. If you're not sure how to access something or you're experiencing difficulties and you're just unsure who can help, come to us. We're here to help you, connect you to resources and direct, and guide you to further enhance your academic success and experience at Niagara College. I'm going to pass it back to Cynthia as she's going to review how the Library and Learning Commons can support you further.
Thanks. So as Candace just mentioned, we want you to achieve success in your studies, and we encourage you to take advantage of the academic supports available in the Libraries and Learning Commons. Academic drop-in sessions and peer tutoring are two options we will be highlighting today. And you might be surprised to hear that the library is your go-to for this support. Both of these options provide students with help in their studies and offer opportunities to review material covered in class. I want to point out that any student in any program can take advantage of these academic supports, and they're free. So first, let's take a closer look at the academic drop-in sessions here. Often referred to as ADI, another acronym for you to remember, academic drop-in sessions offer students support in math, science, writing, and English as a second language. Facilitators have experience supporting students across various course codes and programs and cover a range of topics. Most students prefer to attend in person, but facilitators also offer online support as requested. The ADI facilitators will work with you to clarify course content and answer questions to put you on the right path with your studies. We have some students who drop by occasionally when they need help with a specific question, and we have others who meet with our facilitators on a regular basis to ensure they stay on track. You can determine how often you need support. Drop-in hours are available daily, Monday through Friday, and students can attend as often as they like. Next, we have peer tutoring. Peer tutoring is a great option if you are looking for course-specific help. Tutors are current students in the program who already completed the course with a high mark. You can book an appointment independently using the online schedule, and there is the option to meet with a tutor online or on campus, depending on your preference. Tutors can help you review material for a test, explain concepts, and perhaps provide you with some strategies that helped them succeed in the course. Although we can't guarantee a tutor will be available for every course, we always do our best to recruit. So the earlier you ask for help, the better your chances will be to get the support you need. Peer tutors, along with academic drop-in facilitators, can play a key role in your success. Everyone can benefit from additional support, and you don't have to wait until you are struggling in a class or think you're falling behind. I always recommend taking advantage of these academic supports right from the start. It's a great way to enhance your learning experience and stay engaged with course material. And best of all, they are free. So check out the website for more information or simply drop by the library when you need additional support.
Thanks, Cynthia. So talking about some other important tips to help you prepare for your program in January, we want to take some time to talk about the importance of assignments and exams. So again, reviewing your teaching and learning plan will help you understand and organize your assignment deadlines, as well as understanding and knowing what your expectations are for the class. So if anything, hitting home of that teaching and learning plan is really important for you to review and be aware of. Um, Try and to ensure that you're not missing deadlines. Missing a deadline to submit an assignment may result in you losing marks. Sometimes instructors will allow for a late submission, but a percentage per day is what could occur from your overall mark or result in getting a zero, which again will potentially overall lower your grade for that class. So I want to, encourage maybe using a whiteboard or getting a whiteboard calendar to outline all your assignments and when they're due, so that you're ensuring that you're staying on top and on track of what is due to make sure that you're not missing those deadlines. Ask your instructor for clarification if you do not understand the instructions or requirements of the assignment. And make sure that you're following up with your instructor if you don't understand the feedback or grade you received from that assignment. Don't be afraid again to ask questions. So I know it kind of seems repetitive from the last tips slide, but it's really important that you do ask these questions, because understanding what's expected of you or where you went wrong will ensure that you're not going to make, that same mistake twice. As a reminder, instructors are there to support your academic success and to help ensure that you are being successful as you move forward in the course. Oh, perfect. Thanks, Jody. It's also important to not miss your exams. Sometimes, things come up and, if you miss it, you may not be able to retake it again. If you do think you are going to miss your exam due to an extenuating circumstance, or if maybe you've fallen ill on the day of your exam, Talk to your instructor before the exam or as soon as you're able to, as there may be additional requirements that you could complete or the possibility of writing the exam at a later time in the term. By talking with your instructor, it allows the opportunity for you to both discuss best next steps. So that's a really good tip we wanted to share. So you need to ensure that you're having a passing grade in each course to meet graduation requirements. A passing grade in each course is 50%. Okay, so you need to be ensuring that you are meeting graduation, like meeting that percentage to pass the course to meet graduation requirements. In order to graduate most program, a student needs to achieve an overall grade point average or GPA, which you might hear, of 60%. Another reminder that we wanted to kind of share with you and provide as a tip is, with what we discussed earlier about getting help when you need it and to ensure you're doing the best in each of your courses. Connect with your academic advisor or stop in and connect with an academic drop-in facilitator or peer tutors for further support. Again, we're all here to help, ensure that you are achieving your academics successfully. And as Cynthia shared, the Library and Learning Commons has lots of great academic support for you that you can access free. Some strategies that we want you to consider in helping you do well in your assignments is, making sure you stay on track with your assignments and meet submission deadlines. Ask your instructor for clarification, as we said already, whether it be in class or via email or during office hours. Create a study group when preparing for exams. Cynthia can probably speak more to the number of students that book a room in the library to have more time to study together. So it'd be great if you can get a study group, that can be really helpful. Make sure that you're allowing enough time in your schedule to study. Avoid cramming the night before. Maybe create a study plan for yourself, which allows for purposeful time to be set aside a week or two before the exam is scheduled to review the content from the course. That can be really helpful. Procrastination has, it gets us all sometimes. So sometimes just purposely putting something in your calendar every day, maybe 2 weeks leading out before the exam, will help ensure that you're putting that time aside to study. Take some time to maybe understand your learning style and how you learn best. So for example, if you're a visual learner, try maybe using a highlighter to highlight your content you're trying to learn or retain. If you learn best through listening, maybe you're recording yourself reading the content so that you can listen to those recordings to retain that information. If maybe you learn best with your hands, as a kinesthetic learner, maybe you need to move around or write down what you're trying to remember. Knowing how you learn best will help you focus on your strength. Practice breathing techniques as you go into your tests and exams. We understand that when you're about to write an exam or a test, your heart rate may rise or you're going to have feelings of panic overcoming you. Breathing techniques can really help lower your heart rate and ease those feelings of anxiousness and helping you feel calm to have more of a clear mind and focus in writing your exams. I'm going to pass it over to Cynthia now, and she's going to talk more about what the Learning and Library Commons can help provide from an assignment and exam perspective.
Thanks, Candace. While we're on the subject of tests and exams, I'd like to briefly mention the Test Center. We have test centers at both campuses to provide support for those students who require accommodated testing outside of the classroom environment. In order to receive accommodated testing, students will need to be registered with Health, Wellness, and Accessibility Services and have a letter of accommodation or LOA to access this service. The Test Center also provides a testing space for students who missed an exam due to extenuating circumstances, but keep in mind, this requires approval from your instructor for the course. Any rewrites for tests must be discussed with your course instructor first. If you are interested in more information about services offered in the Test Center, feel free to check out the link provided in chat.
Wonderful. Thanks, Cynthia. So as we talked about some study tips around assignments and exams, we wanted to go further into some additional strategies about being able to study smart. So practice time management. Maybe, like I said, put in your schedule every day time to study for each of your courses. Maybe you break it down by content or by lesson. It all depends on what you feel is manageable and allows you to balance all of your personal and school commitments. Avoid procrastination. Again, while we understand it can be easy to do and we all have experienced procrastination at different times in our lives, it's important to time things out and create small achievable goals to help you stay on top of everything. Maybe create a workspace that will help increase your focus and remove or eliminate distractions. We know that sometimes our workspaces are sometimes in the middle of our house in the dining room where, lots of noise is going on. But if you can try and find a quiet space, whether it's at home or on campus, hopefully, it can help remove some of those distractions to help, keep you focused. Maybe even consider silencing your phone so that you're not getting notifications from your social media. Um, Attention management is something that we all have to try and like work towards. So trying to remove some of those things that take away from your attention is really important. Establishing a routine for yourself, while it can take up to 2 or 3 weeks to do it, we encourage you to. An example could be trying to start waking up earlier every day or setting a set bedtime during the week, as that may help give you more time and focus to organize things in your day. And then another tip is, to get support. It can be easy to get stuck in a cycle where you feel you cannot get it. Just ask. Sometimes breaking the cycle is just asking, um, because we're all here to support you. And then again, another option is maybe don't be afraid to try a reduced course load. Sometimes being able to put more focus on a reduced number of courses can help you feel more successful versus feeling overwhelmed. If you are wanting or thinking of wanting to drop a course or not take a full course load, connect with your academic advisor first, as the courses you are maybe considering dropping or not taking may be a prerequisite to another course in the next level or a future level, which then can delay your graduation timeline from completing the program. So if you're wanting to try reduce course load, while we completely encourage it, we want you to have a conversation with your academic advisor to ensure that this is, not going to impact your timeline or further delay things within your program. Always be aware of your deadlines. So that's really important and it's really easy to lose track of. So wherever you're displaying your deadlines for all of your assignments and exams, make sure it's in a really visible place where you're going to see it all the time and it's a constant reminder for you. These are just some really important strategies that we feel will help you to study smart and keep you on the track of success. I'm going to pass it back over to Cynthia.
Thanks. So when you walk into the library and learning commons, you'll quickly notice that students use the space for different reasons. Some students want to collaborate on projects with their classmates, and other students require silent surroundings to focus on independent study. So, regardless of your reason for spending time in the library, we want to ensure that everyone has a space that works. So, let's go over a few options here. But keep in mind, each campus library has a very different design and setup for its student spaces. First, there is plenty of seating available for students to work in the Learning Commons. You'll find tables and comfy booths where students can come together to work or study on their own. For those times when you need to collaborate with others, it is best to book a group study room or study pod. Students tend to use rooms when they know they are discussing a group project, working on a presentation, or studying with classmates. We also have quiet spaces for students who want to focus on individual study. I know at the Daniel J. Patterson campus, students are always happy to discover the quiet study room and appreciate the extra silence. You'll also find open access computers, printers, and scanners set up for student use in the library, and you have direct access to staff from Information Technology Services for assistance. Definitely a popular spot at the start of term when students are trying to figure out Wi-Fi connections, college email, or resetting a password, or need help printing a document. So don't hesitate to ask for help. For those students who are interested in getting creative, they can book some time in our exploratory. Students can enhance videos by using the green screen, use software for editing, record audio for a podcast, or check out the 3D printer because there's always something new to explore in that space. And finally, the libraries have a designated peer tutoring room for booked appointments. So when you need a space to meet your tutor, it's ready. Remember, look for the space that's going to meet your needs and be considerate of those around you sharing the space. I'm sure it won't take long for you to discover your favorite spot in the library. The Libraries and Learning Commons has so much to offer our students, and the library's website is a great starting point to learn about the resources and services available. I would like to mention the library is always looking for ways to improve and expand what we do, and our website recently went through a complete redesign. We have made improvements to ensure students can explore everything the library offers and can quickly find the information they need. You can easily access our services, search for resources, and get additional help. When you have an assignment or research to complete, be sure to explore the library's website. You might be surprised by the number of ways the library can contribute to your academic success. So let's move forward and start by taking a quick look at some items you can borrow from the library's physical collection. The Libraries and Learning Commons have a physical collection containing supplemental material for the programs offered at each campus, as well as special collections for our students. Your student card is your library card, so no additional registration is required. Students have access to books from either campus, and we can easily transfer books between campuses upon request. Students can also borrow equipment from the library for a short-term loan. So once again, all you need is your student card to borrow an item. We have video cameras, digital cameras, LCD projectors, portable screens, GoPro cameras, and accessories, and so much more. We even have phone chargers, so if you forget yours at home, just ask us. When we don't have a book available in our collection, students have the option to request a book through interlibrary loan, borrow books from other colleges, as well as take advantage of our reciprocal borrowing agreement with Brock University. Library staff are happy to review these options when you can't find a specific title. Our collection is always growing and changing with student needs, so take a few minutes to drop by the library and learn about items you can borrow. There is far more to discover at each campus library, so check us out. Of course, it's not surprising to note that the majority of our resources can be accessed online. And when you need research for an assignment, you will quickly become familiar with accessing the library's databases. Students have access to online journals, newspapers, articles, ebooks, videos, and so much more. You'll be required to log in with your college credentials, but it's the same as your Brightspace info. And once again, um, once you're logged in, students have access to these online resources whenever and wherever they need them. You can search our digital archives and special collections for program-related resources too. Searching the library's resources will result in more relevant and scholarly resources that will be a better fit for your course assignments. And a quick search using the library's website can retrieve thousands of results. There are filters to help you find exactly what you need, and even citation generators so you can easily cite your sources in an assignment. I'm sure you'll hear more about the library's online resources in your classes, but if you have any questions, library staff are available to help, and I will review several ways to contact us before the end of this session. So I'd like to highlight just a few more services that can contribute to your academic success before we wrap up. Program guides have been created for every program by library staff. These guides highlight relevant library resources and offer important tips to help students develop their academic skills. You'll find new books, relevant ebooks, scholarly journals, and recommended databases that support your program. There's also streaming videos, websites, and research assignment support. Each guide contains the contact information for your library liaison, so you'll know who to contact for help. The Libraries and Learning Commons has an exploratory at both campuses, as I mentioned before. So students are encouraged to use this digital media lab and makerspace for class-related projects or to enhance your skills through independent learning. Students can also enhance learning and study skills by completing the library's modules and tutorials that introduce you to research and academic integrity skills. These helpful modules have been created by our library staff and cover many relevant topics for new students. When you have questions about citations and plagiarism, of course, the library can help. These are common concerns for students, so you're not alone. You'll find examples and resources on the library's website to ensure you're equipped with the right information, or you can stop by the academic drop-in session for writing, and our facilitator will help. And don't forget, you can get citations automatically generated when using the library's databases too. And finally, research assistance. If you have any further questions, would like more information about searching our online resources or accessing specific databases, you can book an appointment with the library contact for your program. We're happy to set up a time that fits your schedule. So we're hoping you learned something new in today's session. I only gave you a quick introduction, so please take some time to explore the library's website for more details. And of course, you can contact library staff for further assistance. So send us an email, chat online, or simply drop by the library and ask us in person. We will always do our best to set you up for academic success. So I think the most important takeaway is to simply ask for help. We want you to achieve success in your studies, and we're here for you. So don't be afraid to approach us for support at any point in your journey. Pass it back to you, Candace.
Thanks, Cynthia. So the last sort of few slides that we want to review with you are strategies for success in co-op. So we wanted to review on behalf of the co-op team some strategies for those students who have a co-op component incorporated into their program. So attending the co-op workshops that are scheduled for your program in the winter term are really important. These workshops are there and will help prepare you for your job search and securing a work term. Making sure that you're meeting with your co-op consultant one-on-one to get personalized support for your co-op journey is really important. Getting help with your resume and cover letter and practice your interviewing skills. Make sure that you're engaged in the co-op process and that you're applying for co-op jobs. If you don't apply for the opportunities, you're not giving yourself the chance to successfully secure a work term. So being, engaged in applying for co-op opportunities is really important. Attend job fairs and ensure you're taking up the opportunity to learn how to network. Don't forget to submit your co-op reports during your work term, as those are what are graded for you to get a successful completion mark for the co-op component. And for students that do not have a co-op incorporated into their program, they can still access career services for resume, interview, and job searching support. So we just want to take some time to review that with you because these are some additional supports for those who have a co-op program or just for students who are in general looking for career and job search support that don't have co-op. Some quick links that we wanted to review with you. There's been plenty that have been shared in the chat, but this slide specifically outlines some really key resources that we would like you to have. So if you want to take a snapshot or a picture of the slide, it would be really helpful. It will be available to you later to review through the video recording. So these website links are resources that you'll want to keep and use throughout your journey at Niagara College. So the academic drop-in session link, this is where all the recordings of these sessions that we're doing over the next 3 days will be housed. The advising guide link, it's a great guide to get great information on how you can be successful in your program and term, and it's set out week by week, okay? There's key tips and strategies that you can consider to help enhance your academic success. So I really encourage you to look at the advising guide. Career services and co-op services. That clicking on that website will give you some more information on how they can support your career exploration and skill development. The Health, Wellness, and Accessibility Services web link. This is where, and is a department which we've talked a little bit about today, that supports your physical health with a doctor and nurse on campus, your mental health with access to personal counselors, as well as supports for academic accommodations where you can meet with a learning strategist or an accommodations consultant. So check out that website to just kind of learn more about what health, wellness, and accessibility provides. Yes, HWAS is the acronym that we use. We also provided the website for ITS. So if you're having difficulties with logging into your email or accessing your Brightspace, having the website for ITS is really important. We also have website links to the Library and Learning Commons, as well as access to information for peer tutoring, which has also been shared in the chat. We also, the last two are the links to review the Student Rights and Responsibilities Office, as well as the links to review your timetable selection. So just as a reminder, timetable selection and registration opens December 5th at 7 a.m. And depending on what program you're in, there are specific dates outlined for when each program can register their timetable. So if you go to the Niagara College's website, log into or click on the MyNC, when you scroll down the page, you'll see the announcements and the link that will take you to the registration times and dates by program or by date. So I really encourage you to look at that last website, that last web link, so you know by your program what date you're able to register for. It opens at 7 a.m. on the 5th, but depending on your program, between the 5th and the 10th, there could be specific dates, and it's in the link here that Jody's provided. So thank you so much. I do encourage you to make sure you are on top of it so you can pick the best timetable for you. And so I'm going to pass this back over to Cynthia to do a bit of a wrap up.
Yeah, so this brings us to the end of session 2 and leaves one final session to cover. The next session will move you forward on the path to success with Career and Beyond, scheduled tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Once again, this series is recorded, so take some time to review all 3 sessions for the start of the term. And don't forget to connect with Academic Advising and the Libraries and Learning Commons for support when you begin your studies. We look forward to meeting you.